Welcome everyone to Visionary Psychics. I'm Sara Wiseman, and I'm so happy today to have with me Susan Chamberlain, who's one of our Visionary Psychics. Welcome, Susan.
Hi, Sarah. Thank you.
Hi.
And I'm literally so honored to be here. Thank
Ah,
you.
oh, good. Well, you have a very in-depth background in spirituality and energy healing and intuition, and I guess I would like to hear when someone comes to you, how you approach assessing what is going on for them. Like, what are some of because I teach a certain type of tools, which I know you use, but you also have some other things that you use. So, someone comes to you, what are sort of the first things you start to look for?
Well, I like to listen to what they're telling me. And as they're talking to me, I'm getting energetic downloads of what's happening with them, with the scenario, maybe even with their guides. All this information is coming in. I'm listening to everything, and I'm listening very intently to the person that is in front of me or on a phone or just that person that's present. I'm listening because when you listen, all the energy goes into this kind of truth pattern, and I'm
Mhm.
able to help them from their truth for their destiny to get them out of the place that they think they're stuck in.
Right. So they may be telling you a string of words, but you're able to hone into what's the deeper truth
Yes, there's
underneath
always
it.
something underneath that's coming up to the surface that sometimes they can't handle, which is why they look for someone. Can you help me sort this out? And yes, I
Yes,
can.
right. Do you find with most people, what are some of the most common areas of issues that people who come to you tend to be dealing with? Does anything?
A lot of times it's their adjustment to their family,
Mhm.
adjustment to their life, and adjustment to their job, because where times are changing, and in this change, everything that's out of the truth pattern for the soul alignment is going to knock them off. So then they become out of balance, and then they start searching, oh my, what's wrong with me? There's nothing wrong with you. You're just ascending, you're changing, you're shifting with the energy of the time. And
Yeah,
it's okay to have someone help you do that.
yeah. Do you find that people come to you like, um, I find that people tend to come to me in kind of specific age groups, almost like there are different age groups when people go to the next level, or what do you find? Who's coming to you in terms of how old they are and what they've been through?
I get a lot of different age groups. I've had teenagers, I've had young adults, I've had people in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. I've had a variety of people, because when that change and shift is going to happen for you, it's universal divine timing.
Yeah.
So people are unaware of, oh my gosh, why did I just lose my job? I worked there for 30 years. Or why am I getting divorced? I've been married for 25 years. Things happen, and the universe kind of moves you along a path. And if you're not in tune with that path, it could knock you for a loop.
Hmm. What about people who, like about a lot of people listening, like they are on the path, like you and I are on the path, people listening are on the path, uh, and yet the changes still happen. Like, why is that? Like we're trying to pay attention, and yet, boom! What do you think that's about? How do you
Well,
figure
I
that
feel
out?
the universe will bring in energy to make you think of something else different, to shift you to something that's going to better serve your purpose and your soul, going towards your destiny, which may not be your ego's goals. There are two different things, and the soul operates from an energetic, spiritual point of view, and the ego is from the lower mind, and it's just wants a lot of things that are not necessary.
Yeah, yeah, that's a very good way. Wants a lot of things, wants it badly, that are not necessary to the soul journey at all. Um, when you are working with someone, I know you have a really big background in energy and sound healing too, those types of things. How does that all come into what you're doing?
Well, I like to tell people, especially those that come to me that have trouble sleeping, to put on 528. That's Unconditional Love. It's on YouTube. It doesn't cost any money. And it's literally, there was someone there for 11 hours with no
Mm-hmm.
commercial. So you're
Mm-hmm.
going to sleep through that and then wake up with a high vibration, a higher mindset, a higher sense of being, wellness, goodness, betterment, and just, okay, I can take on my day. I'm present.
Yeah. I'm shocked. I do a lot of listening to various spiritual music. Because I especially like mantra and sort of that style. But yeah, it's shocking to me how you start down here and then just a little bit, and suddenly you're in a higher vibrational state. And I think that what the music does is it tricks your ego brain, even your sleeping ego brain, because to go to a higher place. It's like it kind of like that reminder nudge, like, here we go. We don't need to be down there. We can be up.
Exactly. It'll take you on a journey.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Um, in terms of working with departed, is that something that happens for you? Do departed start to come in, or
Well, you know
what?
what's funny? That will happen. Like somebody's grandmother may come in, somebody's aunt, or a lot of times, if somebody worked with somebody, like I've had clients come actually who have worked with saints. I
Mhm.
had a person who was reading a book on Saint Clair, and I said to her, "Are you familiar with Saint Francis and Saint Clair?" And she was like, "I just read a book on them. They were both there. I've seen Mother
Mhm.
Teresa. I've seen the Blessed Mother." It depends on the person's conscious level and what they were just doing. Sometimes that comes right into the reading, or if they were so attached to their grandmother, they're going to be present.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
should.
Well, you have a deep, deep association with the saints. In fact, of all the people that kind of I've worked with in this way, you're the person that uh, the saints come to you. All the saints and the angels. It's kind of like your niche of who you're working with. And how does that feel to you? Like when they come in, what does it feel like, if there's a way to describe that?
Well, it's a higher frequency, and it'll often make my body like jolt for a second because the frequency coming in, and then they make themselves very well known that they're standing right there. I mean, I've seen 6-foot angels. I have seen many of the saints. I've had interactions with many of the saints. Many spiritual, mystical occurrences have happened with me and saints and angels both.
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting because I think for people, like the divine guidance comes in differently for different people, depending on almost like what you're here to do, like what your spiritual job is. And um, for me, mostly guides come in who seem to be these very tall beings. But recently, all it's been is, and I'm laughing because I'm looking behind you now, but all it's been is angels, angels, angels for the last month. And so when this change happens, like for you, if one saint is always coming, and then maybe a different saint begins to come or something else, you know that you're about to learn something a little different, or you're about to be sort of shifted into a slight different direction of your understanding. At least that's how I feel. It's like,
Yeah,
oh, angels, this is different. Okay, what is this? And just because the universe is filled with all kinds of beings that are here to help us, and it's really just sort of what we're more aligned with at that moment is what we're going to receive. Some people receiving animals, or spirit animals, or energy forms, or like the elementals or guides or angels or saints. It's just kind of depending what that person is working on at a soul level, I think.
this is true. And the divine works with us in such a way that they interject that energy on purpose for confirmation for me and the person in front of me. And
Yeah.
sometimes, yes, their spirit animals show up, their loved ones show up, their guides show up. It's for confirmation, it's to shift the energy, it's for them to know that they're being taken care of by heaven. Like you're
Yes.
not alone on your journey. they are there, and they want you to know that they're there, because it makes you feel good in your heart to say, you know what? I do love my journey. I do love what I'm doing. I just sometimes have challenges that make me feel uncertain, but then they show up to say, okay, we're here. Like a departed loved one. Well, sometimes you may hear songs, you may see butterflies. They love to leave you quarters and dimes. They love to play with the electricity. They like to do things so that they know, I'm here. You're
Yeah.
not by yourself, and I didn't really leave you. I'm
Yeah.
present. I am here.
What would you say, because what I've been noticing lately is the veil is so, it's not even that the veil is thin, it's just like I and you and others, we're beyond the veil and we're kind of like in and out all the time. Whereas even a couple years ago, we'd have to come to the veil and go over and exist there and then come back. But now it's just kind of all the same thing. Not that we're losing touch with reality at all. It's just everything's expanded more. Almost like this sense of what is the quote real life? What is the spiritual journeying? Are you noticing that too? This sort of blurring of the
What I'm
veil?
noticing is, yeah, human celestial is taking embodiment in with the soul in form into your physical body. So you're going to see a lot more earth angels, a lot more celestial beings, a lot more of that celestial human embodied right there, and very present. And literally the divine feminine is helping you to anchor into your soul with that unconditional love, that intuition, that mystical feeling of heaven is very present and you are a divine being.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
this light is coming into every soul.
What about for souls who are or people who are continuing to, they've got their blinders on and they really are not too interested or don't seem too interested in taking those off? How do you approach that?
What I feel is going to happen to them is after a session, usually with me, they'll send me messages back. This profound thing happened and this profound thing happened. I said, yeah, because you were present. This is a truth ceremony here, and truth is going to come out. It elevates you automatically. And then the divine steps in and says, let me show you what we can do for you when you pay attention to who you really are at soul level. Your divine self is always present. It's just like you said, when you stay narrow-minded with the ego and the lower mind, you're going to have issues, but heaven has a way of waking you up during the night to say, look, we are here, we're present. And you'll have interactions and things, or think you're having dreams, and there'll be occurrences. It won't just be a dream, it'll be an occurrence.
Yeah.
Heaven is very present for everybody. As you said before, the veil is almost invisible now. Yeah.
Which is interesting because time seems really different. I'll do meditation and do journeying, and then I'll come back into again the real life, and it's kind of like which not where am I, but they just both seem very different. They don't seem as solid. Everything's multi all the time. When I know you like me and a lot of the other people in this group, and also just listening, a lot of us have had these really profound, disruptive spiritual awakenings. And I kind of thought once I had my first near-death experience back in 2000, like, okay, check that one. Just is so funny that I thought that, but like that one's done. Now it's just smooth sailing. But what I found is that these awakening moments continue to happen. And sometimes they take a bit of, like you just recently uprooted your whole life and moved. And that was based on a spiritual understanding that was what was next. How do you think about this idea that when the universe calls, it's like, I guess you could say no, but that maybe a lot of change is going to happen really quickly, and getting used to that idea. What comes to mind when I'm saying this?
Well, when you say that, if if you per se think you're going to say no, what happens is illnesses come.
Mhm.
Things come that you're challenged to go onto a crossroads. Your journey is put in front of you. Okay, if you follow heaven's direction with your divine self, the doors just open.
Yeah.
But when you choose your ego, lower mind self, and you go in that direction, the doors don't open. There's a struggle. There's challenges. Things get pulled away from you. People come and go. You're not sure of your path. You've lost your faith. You're losing trust. You don't know where you're going. But when you go the other way, the trust is there. The faith is there. The belief is there. The knowingness is there. The guidance is there.
Yeah.
They literally bring you right to the door of where you're going.
And it's not like even if you've said no and no and no and no in the past, it's just that one yes, and then it all starts to shift, and that continued saying yes. And saying yes to, like you did, and like I have, not recently, but in the past, saying yes to things that kind of don't make sense, or are a big risk, or really seem so out of the blue, and yet saying yes, and then there it is. It all just happens.
What's
Yeah.
funny is you think it's out of the blue, but for your soul's alignment and path, it's
Yeah.
right on time.
Yeah.
It's not even out of the blue, but it seems odd. Like you're just going to uproot yourself. You've lived here your whole life and you're just going to leave, and you
Right.
don't know anybody where you're going. Absolutely. The divine has you.
Yes.
They've got you and you're with them.
And the divine has you more than any of the real life situations can.
That's
So
true.
when you think about some of the work we do is in past lives. When you think about your past lives, what are some of the most like, I know I've been a monk, often a Buddhist monk. That's one of the ones that's super predominant. What comes, I mean, I already know the answer, but I just want you to say it and share it with people. What comes for you as, like, what have you always been?
A lot of saints.
Yeah.
A lot of saints, and definitely a lot of visits with angels, but
Yes.
definitely kind of saints. I resonate with them so much that they're in my presence all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I live with them. I don't think I would have made it through my journey up until now without angels and saints. So I'm very grateful for my background in my other past lives and the present time, this lifetime, that they've come back in, and they're always present.
Mhm.
And they're ready, willing, and able to help us. You just ask, they're there.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything you'd like to add or say? I think this is perfect so that people can get an idea of kind of the work you do and what you're focused on. Anything that comes to mind?
I just love my journey, and I love to help people see a betterment for themselves, to
Yeah.
feel safe in their own soul skin, in their human skin, in their divine self, and know that no matter where they are, God is with them, the divine is with them, and they are well taken care of if they would just relax a little, get out of the lower mind, and just feel at ease with grace and comfort that they are being taken care of.
Absolutely. Well, Susan, thank you so much for your time. We'll put all the contact information below, and I'm just so happy to know you and be working with you. Thank you.
Same as well. Thank you so much, Sarah. God bless. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Thank you.